Thanks for tuning in to Cronkite Sports Now. Today's stories across the valley take us from professional sports all the way to the high school level. The Diamondbacks have less than a 12-hour turnaround between games. An update on a high school football scandal in the valley. And how one Suns player is giving back to his home in wake of Hurricane Dorian's devastation. These stories and more coming your way on Cronkite Sports Now. Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. I'm Claudia Faust. Welcome to Cronkite Sports Now. First on today's agenda, last night's D-backs game against the Cardinals went to extra innings, 19 to be exact. Ildemaro Vargas came into the game as a pinch hitter and sent the game to extras thanks to a one-out homer and had the game-winning RBI. Rob Warner is at Chase Field now with more on last night's win.
There was more history made here last night, well actually this morning, as Ildemaro Vargas sent the Diamondbacks fans home happy at 1:35 this morning with a walk-off single to lift Arizona over St. Louis 3-2 in a 19-inning marathon.
Cuando llegué, mi hijo me estaba esperando que
Look, I actually got home and my son wanted me to play ball with him. So, and then social media was blowing up. My family in Venezuela, it was 6 a.m. over there, and they were, texting me and calling me. So I didn't really get to sleep at 4 a.m.
I wasn't starting the game, so I'm like, okay, all right, well, let's see how this goes. And it got towards that 9th inning, 10th inning. I actually caught 10 innings off the bench. And you don't usually expect to do that.
Today we have a lot of energy despite the lack of sleep. Winning that game, Vargy tying it, then winning it, it's a cool moment for him. It's a cool moment for this team. We're still fighting. We're still playing hard.
I was trying to get everybody to, pull up the sleeping bag and sleep in the cage and just be ready to go. But, you just got to sleep fast and be ready to go today.
The Diamondbacks used 13 combined pitchers last night. That tied for the most in MLB history in a single game. Hopefully today, Arizona has enough arms to get them through the series finale. From Chase Field, Rob Warner, Cronkite News.
This game set the record for the longest game at Chase Field, and between both teams, 48 strikeouts were produced, tying the MLB record. The D-backs also had 30 players on the field throughout the night, setting the club record for most players in a single game. We go from a long game to a short week as ASU Sun Devils head to California for a Friday night matchup with the Bears. With a loss to Colorado and a top 25 ranking in the rear view, ASU is focusing on the trip and their opponent as they look to bounce back on the road.
It's kind of ironic. I never thought in my lifetime when I went to college there and then went to San Diego State that I'd actually be visiting these campuses again. And I've been back numerous times, but as a coach.
Edwards still holds the record for most interceptions in a game at Cal, when he intercepted 4 passes against Washington State for the Bears in 1974. Kickoff Friday night against number 15 Cal is set for 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. Still searching for a win this season, the Cardinals are prepping for a bird battle as the Seahawks fly into the Valley. After giving up 6 catches for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns to Greg Olsen last Sunday, Cliff and the Cards know they need to tighten up on tight ends.
I think we can obviously coach it better and also play it better when a player has an opportunity to make a play. I don't think it's one thing, and also very good players that we faced at that position, but we have to have answers for that.
On Sunday, those answers will need to come against Seahawks tight end Will Dissly, who has 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games. Kickoff is set for 1:05 inside State Farm Stadium. Just weeks after Mountain Point High School assistant football coach Justin Hager allegedly sent emails containing team strategy to opposing teams, the Arizona Interscholastic Association has asked Mountain Point and other schools involved to conduct internal investigations. At this point, some of the schools associated with the alleged leaking of information have begun to turn in reports to the AIA. The association does not have the authority to investigate the schools and have asked the schools involved to investigate themselves and report any violations back to the AIA. Allegedly, the information was leaked to the schools both in-state and out of state. But the motive?
We see in emails that he had some feelings on who should be hired or potentially be hired, or getting recognition for some of his own teams in emails that we saw that he wrote that pretended to be someone else, those are all concerning. When a trusted coach is betraying them and their trust, that's just inexcusable. And it's a situation, and the Tempe district has swiftly handled what they're able to do from their end. It's just unfortunate that it ever got to that point.
Once all the reports are in, Hines said that the alleged scandal will be addressed in October during the next executive board meetings. Cronkite News is following the story closely and will have updates for you as they develop. On a more positive note, Nassau native and Phoenix Sun center DeAndre Ayton decided to use his platform to help his home country of the Bahamas. On Monday night, he held an event at Ocean 44 in Scottsdale as a part of his $100,000 pledge for Dorian relief efforts.
Growing up and surviving a hurricane, it's nothing you really can bounce back. You don't have nothing when it passes by, and it's just a lot to really take in. It's overwhelming, and the first thing I can possibly do is just help. I'm from there, and I kept an eye on that hurricane the whole time, knowing what it's capable of and what it did. So just having all the support from the Valley and my teammates is unbelievable.
It's been over 3 weeks since Hurricane Dorian devastated the Bahamas. According to CNN, around 1,300 people are still missing, and 50 people have been claimed dead in the wake of the natural disaster. The island sustained wind speeds over 185 miles per hour for almost 48 hours, and the Bahamas are just in the beginning stages of recovering from the tragic event. 100% of the proceeds from the dinner held on Monday night went directly to the people of the Bahamas through UNICEF. Anyone interested in donating to Ayton's mission can go to suns.com/relief. The past 4 weeks, the Sun Devils volleyball team traveled to Texas, Kentucky, Oklahoma, and Nevada. But the team looks at that being on the road for so long as a positive, especially finishing non-conference play with an 8-3 record. Tomorrow kicks off the Territorial Cup. This ASU-U of A matchup has been more successful for the Wildcats, having won the last 4 consecutive matchups against the Sun Devils.
I hope both teams bring it. That's how it should be in a rival game. Everybody should be excited. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case for us. Traditionally we played the worst game against them, and since I've been here. And so I just hope, there's nothing to lose. Just go out there and have fun. We prepared for this. We're ready. Let's bring it on, and they can bring it on. Let's have a fun match.
The Sun Devils open up Pac-12 play 7 p.m. Thursday at Wells Fargo Arena against in-state rival University of Arizona. That does it for today's edition of Cronkite Sports Now. For Arizona sports stories from around the Valley, visit Cronkite Sports tab on arizonasports.com. And as always, for top Arizona news stories, head over to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org. And be sure to tune in tonight at 5 p.m. on Arizona PBS for our nightly newscast. On behalf of the entire Cronkite Sports Now crew, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place.